We're going to get started early. We got a lot to cover. Welcome to the N1MD podcast. Kevin Hurt, Brian Sherrod here. We got topics upon topics upon topics. Good morning, B.
What's up, man?
Listen, we got a lot to cover, so we're going to just go through everything. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. N1MD podcast. Of course, you can find us on our social media, on Facebook, on IG, and the Twitter. And, of course, you can always download us and find us on every podcast form or every stream. We're here on StreamYard. We're also on YouTube Live, as you can tell now. You can subscribe and like us. And you can find us on Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Anywhere you find podcasts, you will find the NYWD podcast. Let's get this part started.
Let's go. This is going to be a fun day, Hurt, because this day is going to be like an extended Ask Kevin type of show. Because... What? Yeah, I just had some questions for you, and it's just it's gonna be a little bit of rapid fire. You know, I'll kick in with my 2 cents, but this is gonna be Ask Kevin today.
I would say more like 5. I'll give you more credit than that. More like 5 cents. don't ever shortchange yourself, okay?
All right, I like what you did there. All right, man. So. First of all, we know
what we got to start off with, probably, right?
Yeah, the number one topic. You texted me, and you sent me a text, and I don't know. I went into shock. My question for you is: can Tiger Woods recover? But first, let's just talk a little bit about what happened and your reaction to what happened.
So earlier this week, Tiger Woods was in a single car crash. On his way to film something for, I think, Golf Channel. And I think Drew Brees and
Justin Herbert.
Thank you, Justin Herbert. See how I just forgot his name, and I just remembered the dude who played Robot or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Robot.
Yeah, makes no sense whatsoever. How my mind works. He flipped several times in the car. He was stuck. They had to use several instruments to get him out. He suffered crush injuries to his legs. They did immediate surgery. They rushed him to the hospital. I think he's at Cedars-Sinai now, where he is recovering. They said he seems to be in good spirits. But I know when I first heard, and I don't even know where I heard it from. I know I was at work, I believe, and I was just like, "Wait, what?" And my first thought, like, is he okay?
Right.
You know, that's the first thing. That's the first and most important thing. And at first I didn't see that, so I wanted to wait. The next thing I thought is I gotta text Brian. But I was like, I had a feeling you didn't know yet.
I had no idea, yo.
So then my next thought was, let me get some of the details first. And then I found out he was alive. But I wasn't sure, so I was like, all right, let me just text you, let you know where I'm at before you find out on your own. Now, I didn't text you. I had a picture of the car already. I didn't send that to you, nothing. I was like, let me just send you this, let you process this, and not send you anything else.
So what happened was you texted me. I'm like, of course, I'm going right on like CNN. I go to CNN, and I see the image of the car, and I'm like, oh, my.
So they had the car up already.
Yeah, so put it this way, by the time I went to look, because you sent me the text, and I didn't text you back like
no, but I knew you got it. I know you did, because I knew you had to process it. So
yeah, because I'm like, oh no, what happened? And I saw the images, and then I started getting the stuff saying, okay, they had to remove the Jaws of Life, had to remove him. I'm like, oh my gosh. So my first thought was, is he still alive? Is he going to be okay? And I, like I told you the other day, my second thought was, man, oh no, his kid. You know what I mean? Because you know how it is, Hurt.
Yeah.
If that happened to, you know what I'm saying? Like you think about your family, like, oh no, what are they going through? They got, you know what I mean? So those were my first two thoughts. My bottom line is I don't care about golf. I'm just glad this man's alive, and I want him to be able to live a long life with his kids, man. That's all I care about at this point.
That's it. So I mean, in regards to your question, can he recover? Yes. I think he has the best health care, I guess, or money, I should say, to get all the people back together. Will he play in another tournament? I think so. Will he be the same person, same golfer? Never. I don't think he's going. Now, of course, he's come back from back injuries, torn ACLs, all that good stuff. But this is, these crush injuries, ankles, legs, compound fractures, all this stuff will take a long time to come back from. And honestly, at this stage, or maybe as the older I get, I'm not even thinking about him playing again. I just want him to just be Tiger Woods with his family.
Yeah.
And then we'll see him, host a tournament. Like, oh, there goes Tiger. Or we'll see him, do a reality show or something where he can make the best golfers in the world. I don't care. He can design golf courses. My whole thing is, I know he can have a whole second career to whatever he decides to do. But if he doesn't play golf again, I don't care. I just want, as long as he's okay and he gets to see his kids graduate and have kids and become Grandpa Tiger, and that's all I care about.
Yeah. So our thoughts and prayers are gonna go out to Tiger. Wish him a good recovery, speedy recovery, and we'll be keeping track of what's going on. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, Hurt. Oh no, what were you gonna say?
No, I'm just glad he's okay. But go ahead.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Hurt. Now we have not talked much NBA on the show. We both love the NBA. I think for the both of us, it kicks up during playoffs time. I know for me, that's when I paid more attention. But man, I got some NBA questions for you today.
All right.
Yeah, I got like 6 of them for you. All right.
The association questions.
Yep. So here we go. Number 1. Nobody beats the Wiz, Hurt. Oh my God, man.
Except the Clippers.
Yeah, but they just came off this West Coast swing in the Wizard.
Dude, they just beat Utah. I'm not Utah. The Nuggets.
Yeah, the Nuggets. But historically, they do horrible when they take their West Coast trips, and they had a good trip, man. What do you think about the Wiz right now?
Well, still not in a playoff position. I don't believe, but their defense has gotten better. Because remember, Bradley Beal's best quote of the season so far is that we couldn't guard a parked car.
Yeah,
and he was 3,000% right. Their defense was horrific, but with him, Russ, the guys are shooting, and Bradley Beal's a superstar at this point. The dude could shoot. He could play both sides, and they're an entertaining team again. Remember, even him and John Wall to me just never fit. I never really watched those Wizards teams with him and John Wall.
Yeah,
but like this team, Bertans and Mo Wagner, him, Russ, and they're kind of fun. Yeah. So I'll tune in now. I wasn't up for that 10:30 game, but I'll tune in and watch them play, man. I still hate those gray uniforms though. Oh. But they're fun, and again, I think 10 teams make the playoffs this season, so they could try to make a push. I mean, it's the East. Make a push, try to get in that playoff spot.
Yeah, I think. Look, man, they keep playing like this. Yeah, I think they can make the playoffs. There's still a lot of time left, and they're in a good rhythm right now. So I think they're going to make the playoffs, man. I really do.
Yeah, but, I mean, they have some inconsistencies to get past. They're still, even though they have this winning streak going on, they're still 12-18. So they still have a ways to go.
Okay. All right. Second NBA question for you, Hurt. Are the Lakers the favorite?
Well, I mean, they just, like last night, Dennis Schroeder came back, so they stopped their 4-game losing streak. Because, again, it's just LeBron and the LeBron James 4.
Yeah.
Without AD out there at least. And like I said, Dennis Schroeder was out during this losing streak as well. So that means no defense, giving them lots of points. They got killed the other day by, what was it? Utah. Utah destroyed them. That wasn't even close. The only good thing about that is that LeBron didn't have to play the fourth quarter because they were getting killed.
Yeah.
They did bounce back last night. They beat Portland, but with Shooter back. So are they still the favorite? Well, if Anthony Davis comes back, yes.
Okay.
If he's still hobbled, or I know he's out for 4 weeks. I think we got 3 weeks left on that. If he's not 100%, no.
Okay.
And it's up to the Clippers.
Okay. So, but you're saying if you think they are 100%, at full strength, you still think the Lakers can win the West?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
All right. Another question I have for you, and I'm sure you have a lot to say about this one, but man, what was Meek Mill thinking, man?
He wasn't. I think Kobe's from Philly. He's revered there. He's revered everywhere. The thing is, and again, I'm coming at it from a different point of view. When you make a lyric and you talk about something, it could be funny, it could be whatever. But when a tragedy occurred, and it's been a year and a month at this point, but a tragedy occurred, and it's not only Kobe, it's other people involved. And my thought is always goes to his daughter, who was in that helicopter as well. So was this stupid? It's stupid. It was dumb. It was ignorant. I can't even get all the words out to the fact that it hurt Vanessa, and she had to come out and make a statement about it. You're again, and this is a dude who's been helped by Robert Kraft. Him and Robert Kraft have this weird relationship. You remember he was in jail for a while. People just go do your community work, because he does do a lot of community work in Philadelphia. When you're making a lyric, just think about what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just think about what you're saying, because right now you look stupid. You look like the dude that lost to Drake in this diss battle. That's who you are.
Yeah, first of all, the lyric it was whack, first of all.
And it's going to be. You can't make it sound good. You can't.
Right. It was whack, and then it was totally classless.
Yeah, that's not hip hop.
Don't do that. Right.
That right there, that's not hip hop. That's it's early in the morning to Saturday. That's dumbassness. Sorry, people. That's what it is. That's how I felt about it. And he needs to have, that's just do better.
Yeah.
Like if you have a lyric there and you're like, okay, this doesn't sound appropriate, let me make it better. Just make it better. I mean, I know people want to we're artists. That has nothing to do with anything. It's a whack lyric. It's a bad time, and there's no time or no place for that at all. Period.
No, not at all, man. Not at all.
He's just whack. Period.
All right, man. Another question I have for you, and this topic really not saddens me, but it just really makes me angry. And I just want to know, is anybody listening to Jeremy Lin? Is anybody listening to him?
Well, I know they're reviewing the comments that he made about basically, the racist comments towards him, getting called corona. I think he's in the G League now.
Yeah, he's in the G League.
So people coming up calling him coronavirus. But there's been, I don't know if you know that, but there's been this ever since the coronavirus came over, due to the prod poking the fire, so to speak. There's been a lot of Asian hate, basically.
Hate crimes. Yeah, I was reading something where hate incidents against Asians have risen 895% since last March. I mean, this is ridiculous, man. This really just burns me. And he's been talking about this topic, and it just seems to have fallen on deaf ears. And like you said, it really makes me mad because we know why this is happening.
Yep.
We know exactly why this happening. And even as late as January, this guy was still calling that thing the China virus. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And all these hate crimes against Asian Americans have increased greatly. And it's not, we cannot stand for this. We can't stand for any type of racism towards the African American community, Latino community, Asian community, any community. And this is just, I'm just getting sick and tired of this. And the fact that this guy, you know, he had been talking about this and seemed like nobody cared. It just even makes me more.
No, I mean, it started making news now.
Yeah.
But this has been going, people have been documenting this since this first started. But when you have these racist words being used in the media and people react, as i.e., look what happened with the Capitol. So people will sit there and respond emotionally with ignorance and hate and disdain in their mannerisms and their actions. And the same thing happened during Lynn, and it's disgusting. It's just plain up disgusting.
Yeah, man.
So
and like you said they are doing an investigation.
Yeah, investigation into who, when, why, and how.
Good.
These people need to be caught. They need to be, drop kicked and elbow dropped.
Yeah. Good, man. We gotta, we can't have the NBA and all these sports talking about.
As Americans, we need to stick together. Period.
Right.
And if one of us is being talked about or discriminated against, we need to stick up for them as well. It's just not a black issue, like you were saying earlier. It's if this is happening to somebody, we got to be there for that person as well, because it's not right.
No, it's
not right. It's not right, and just the ignorance that that happened in this country is just, it's almost second to none. It's shameful.
Yeah, and we got to make sure all voices are being heard. You know what I'm saying? All voices are being heard. Like, I'm glad the NBA, is spoken out against, racism and, in the black community, and, they acknowledge Black Lives Matter, but we gotta denounce and get rid of all and address all this racism. Yeah. I don't care what group it is, but yeah, man, it just, when I read that, man, it just hurt, man. It just hurt. Because you know how he feel, you know what I'm saying? You know how he's feeling.
Yeah, it's like, but look how long it's taken the incident that happened to the general manager for the Raptors to come about. Yeah. And then first they were kind of blaming him. When you could clearly see he's just going out there trying to be with his team, when he just literally out of nowhere just gets pushed. And again, another racist incident, but we're in almost year 2. Like, they won, 2 years ago? Yeah. And we're just getting to, conclusions, and there's this videotape finally coming out. Like, it's just, it takes too long. I'm a bit tired of it. And I get tired of, even on Twitter. I was, I forgot what I was reading somewhere. Not even reading, or maybe it's just experiencing it. I don't know. But I think I was listening to a wrestling program, and they were just talking about a lot of wrestlers have gone through confidence issues or whatever, but a lot of it has to do with the hate people get on Twitter, and how it affects your social health, your mental health, everything. And a lot of these things come from there, because a lot of these people, like I said, are Twitter strong. Yeah. And again, back in the day, there was no social media. There was just the newspapers. A writer may not have liked you, but now you have a writer that may not like you, and 500,000 people who want to go like something that disparages you or your people. And it's just, I'm just tired of it. I almost hope, I don't know, in the future, I'm not saying people don't have freedom of speech, but if you attack someone and it causes them to take action upon themselves or somebody else, I feel like people need to be held responsible. I really do.
Yeah. So. All right. Morning, Doc.
What's up, Doc?
All right. Next question. Now, we heard some comments from your boy Kyrie this week, and my question to you is this: should the NBA change the logo to Kobe Bryant?
No. Not yet, maybe. I don't want it to be a knee-jerk reaction, so to speak. Unfortunately, not to sound mean.
No.
But I mean, the logo's the logo. Again, there's so many other things that you can make. Again, All-Star Awards named after Kobe. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of pioneers. There's been a lot of great players in the league. And I know unfortunately, how tragically he passed away. But that shouldn't be the reason why you change something unless it's a law or it's for safety reasons. You know what I mean?
Right.
But not just, okay, let's just change this logo from, a person who, was also a Laker to, if anything, why not the logo? I'm not, and not trying to sound mean, but how come the logo couldn't be Kareem with the skyhook or, or so you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just, I don't want it to be a knee-jerk reaction. Again, the All-Star Award, I believe they have named it after him, and that will be henceforth will be the Kobe Bryant, All-Star MVP, and I'm fine with that. But I don't think people just don't need to go around changing logos.
Yeah, it's funny because me, I'm like a purist, but if they were to change it to Kobe, you know what? I'd be all right with it. And
I'm not gonna wake up mad. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just, if they decide to do it, I just feel like I want it for the right reasons.
Right.
That's all.
I was just gonna say. I remember back in the day when Spike, he used to say, "Yeah, they should change the logo to the, the Jumpman logo, Michael Jordan." And Jordan's my guy, so I was like, "Yeah, they should do it." But then as I've gotten older, I'm like, "But no, I mean,
what's the logo? That's what they go by." They picked Jerry West.
Yeah.
Who won like one or two championships with just Jerry. It wasn't Bill Russell. We could have picked Bill Russell,
Right.
But it's just the logo. But man, if they ever change it to the Jumpman logo, I definitely would have stopped watching basketball.
But it's weird because I found myself, because I asked myself that question. I was like, I'm fine. Like, I'll be okay. So, and I was surprised by how I felt by that. But yeah, it's crazy. All right, Hurt. One last NBA question. And I want you to take this seriously, okay? Should Myles Garrett enter the NBA draft?
No. Listen, I know this man. Remember Julius Peppers?
Yeah.
Because he used to beat Maryland all the time when y'all in
You know what? Stop.
I just had to put that in there. That dude was a two-sport athlete. That dude was good. I mean, he came off the bench for North Carolina, but he still played. I think he won a national championship too.
I think so.
Over one of those teams. So we have a lot of multi-sport guys who can be good at one or two things. Multi-sport means two things, not just one thing. No, as good as it looked and everything, it's again, he's not playing against, Luka.
Right.
And Pat Beverly isn't going at his knees. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's not facing the claw. PG-13 is not out there. So that's all nice and dandy. The dude is a supreme athlete. But the big question is, if you're Cleveland, why should he be playing basketball? That's going to be in his contract.
Right.
That ain't happening no more. New clause, no more basketball unless you're just shooting. No playing, no dunking, no nothing. Yeah. I'm protecting my investment.
I will say I was surprised at how agile that guy is, man. I mean, that guy like what 6'5", I think, like almost 300, like he's got to be 290 or something, 280, 290. I don't know what his measurements are, but I just know, wow, I was impressed. Now,
the one thing though I did think about is that at least the only thing he could throw at somebody is the basketball. So
that's pretty good. I like what you did there, Hurt. I like what you did there. Yeah. All right,
that's the good part.
All right, man.
So I got a question for you.
Oh, sure. Yes.
So I'm a soccer guy. Obviously, as you see it in the background, behind my shoulder. But there was a recent comments by our boy Zlatan Ibrahimovic, excuse me, who used to play.
Real quick, is Zlatan still playing for like the LA Galaxy or whatever?
Yeah, well, I know. No, he's left like 2 years ago. So
okay.
He plays again for AC Milan, one of his old clubs in Italy.
Okay.
And someone brought up a question about watching American sports and asking if he likes watching LeBron. And he said, yes, he loves watching LeBron. But his comment after that was, but LeBron needs to stick to playing basketball, not politics. I believe all athletes need to do what they're good at and stick to that. Like he said, I play soccer. I don't play politics. If I was good at politics, I would be in politics, but I'm not.
Okay.
So what are your feelings about that comment?
I absolutely disagree with that. So you mean to tell me Okay, so basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to tell this brother not to have a voice. You're trying to tell this brother not to use his platform. You're trying to tell this brother not to make a difference. Now, I'm sick of people. You know what? I'm sick of people telling us how we need to act, how we need to react, what we need to be doing. Dude, you stay over in Italy, you know what I mean, and do your thing. What this guy is doing is fine. I have no problem with what LeBron's doing. As a matter of fact, LeBron is, I'm gonna use the word courageous, but it takes a lot of guts when you're like the best player in the planet and you have this type of platform to be safe. You know what I mean? I mean, it's easy to be safe. It's easy to be comfortable. You know, like, look, I love Michael Jordan. But as he famously said, Republicans wear sneakers too. He didn't want to pick sides because he had his empire and he didn't want to, make anybody mad. LeBron, no, he's like, no, screw that. I'm gonna say what I need to say, and I don't care who gets mad. And you know what? He's following in the footsteps of a Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean?
Jim Brown, yeah.
Jim Brown. So no. And by the way, I'm sick of hearing the thing. Oh, like these guys are athletes. That's all they need to do. Just stick to that. No. You can be multifaceted. You can be an athlete, but educate yourself in politics to the point where you understand what's going on, and that you can really have an informed opinion about things that are happening. You know what I mean? I get sick and tired of people that say stick to sports. No, hey, Hurt, we have jobs. Maybe we should just stick to those. Maybe we shouldn't vote or
get involved.
Or get involved or teach our kids,
protest and everything.
Yeah. So everybody else can have their jobs and have political stances and voices, but these athletes don't. And their voices, not that their voices matter more, but their voices have more impact because of that platform. So I highly disagree with that, and I'm getting sick and tired of people telling our brothers trying to suppress their voices. I'm getting sick and tired of it.
Yeah, Zlatan, he's Swedish. He's not from here. I know he only played here, like I said, in LA for 2 years. That's when he lived in America. That's kind of even before LeBron. He played, I don't even know they were in the same town together at the same time, maybe for a little bit. But the point is, I don't know what goes on in Sweden. I don't live in Sweden. Never been to Sweden. Maybe Sweden is perfectly fine. It's not perfectly fine here. And whether it's LeBron or any other athlete, no matter what color or race, religion, who wants to speak up and speak out and help their people, then they have the right as American citizens to do what they feel like doing and going out there. Now, he's not even now. Is he playing politics? Like, he's not running for office, but does he let his voice be heard? Yes. You know why? Because he can. He has the right to. And this is coming from another athlete. But this is coming from an athlete who doesn't know what goes on here. He doesn't know about the plight of the African-American person in America. They probably have 5 of them in Sweden anyway. He doesn't know. I don't think he comes from an ethnic minority. So for him, I'm just going to play soccer and I'm going to call it a day. That's not how it works. That's not how it works everywhere in the world. A lot of other athletes, soccer players included, I don't know if he's not looking at what's going on in England, but there's a lot of, especially top Black English players who have tried to come out and support legislation in England to help end racism. He didn't talk about Marcus Rashford. He didn't talk about anybody else, but he said that about LeBron. And he's 1,000% incorrect. And Zlatan likes calling himself as the third person. Zlatan. Well, Zlatan, you just need to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
But LeBron did have a comeback to him too. He's like, Zlatan needs to go do his homework.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure if you knew about that. But when I heard about that, I was just like, this dude needs to shut up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because I had no idea, and I'm going to look into that a little bit more after the podcast. All right, man. We're going to go to the NFL. In the news this week, Russell Wilson was in the news this week, and we found out he don't want to be traded, Hurt, but he has a list. He has a list of teams, but he don't want to be traded. Wow. I guess.
His agent said he had a list of teams. I didn't say.
Well, his agent represents him.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah.
So he has a list. So it just makes me think, wow, man, maybe this thing in Seattle was a little bit more serious than I thought. But it got me to thinking this free agency / football offseason is going to be really interesting because I think this is the first time, and it's already happened already. This is the first time in a long time where we're going to see a lot of movement from quarterbacks that started in 2020. Though they're not going to play a little game with you. Or
Okay.
I'm going to play a little game, okay? Do you want to ride the QB carousel? The answer is yes, because you're going to answer these questions. I have a list of QBs.
The answer is yes. I'm glad you had to answer the question already. Are you going to go? Yes, you are.
Yes, okay. You are. But no, dude, as I was thinking about all the quarterbacks that could leave, my list kept growing and growing. So, all right. I just want your answer to be is a team, okay? Your answer is a team. I'm going to give you a QB. I want you to know what team they're going to be a part of in the 2021 season. First, Russell Wilson.
Seattle.
I agree. I don't think he's going nowhere. All right.
Deshaun, if I was Seattle, I'll get rid of everybody else and keep Russell Wilson. Now, you know, how old is Pete Carroll? 98?
He's 70.
Yeah, so he can be gone. I don't care. We're keeping Russell Wilson.
Exactly.
Period. Now, also real quick, I do not like any of the 4 teams he listed.
Right. But I know one thing, if I'm the Bears, I don't know how the Bears wound up on that list, but you know he's got to you better move heaven and earth to get that guy to your team.
But I'm confused that on a list is the Bears.
Dude, that's what
I mean, was the pizza? I mean, what do you want to go with Chicago? But you know the ultimate team on that list.
I know.
That just drove me crazy.
Yeah. Man, I thought of you and I was like, oh my gosh, if that were to happen.
You remember when he came in the league, I didn't like him?
Right.
I didn't try that garbage.
Woo.
All right, go ahead. What you got?
All right, Deshaun Watson.
This is going to be tough because they don't want to get rid of him, but he may hold out. And he met with the head coach and requested a trade. So you want me to see who's going to be at the same team?
Yes. So if you think he's going to hold out,
no, he's not going to be with Houston.
Oh, he's not going to be. All right, so I need a team then.
Oh, dang on it. Man, who can give him the most? I'm going to say, oh man, I'm going to say the Jets.
All right, the Jets. All right, Drew Brees.
No.
No what? No team.
No. He's not going to be with the team, and it's going to be CBS.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's very good. All right. Let's see. David Carr.
Yes. He's going to be a Raider.
Oh, a Raider. Okay.
He's going to stay a Raider.
I threw in his backup, Marcus Mariota.
No.
Give me
where could Mariota go? Mariota could end up in Washington.
Okay. All right. Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, New England.
Yeah, I got a funny.
That's the only place I see him go.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, Sam Darnold.
Yes, he's a Jet.
Oh, he's staying with the Jets. Okay. All right, Cam Newton.
Definitely not. And camps.
He's
going to be doing more camps. Okay. Maybe not after what happened to him. But maybe I just don't see him getting picked up this year. Maybe it's just me.
Okay. All right.
Again, look how long it took him to get picked up the first time.
Yeah.
So I think same thing is just going to happen to him this season.
All right. 5 more for you.
All right.
Matt Ryan.
I thought he would have been talked about. I have heard nothing about him. If he does, I'm going to say yes, he's staying. I wish he would leave and go to Washington.
Okay. Actually, that would be a good fit for him, I think.
Yeah, he would be great. I think he would be great with Ron and help our boy Heineke. come along, I'm all for it.
Okay. Ben Roethlisberger.
Even though the GM was a bit iffy this week, last week about him, Ben's going to be in Pittsburgh, but this may be his last season.
Okay. Tua Tagovailoa.
Yes, Dolphins playoffs.
All right. Teddy Bridgewater.
Unless they get Deshaun, yes.
Okay. And last but not least, or maybe least, Mitchell Trubisky.
If they can get any quarterback that wants to go to Chicago, which seems to be a long list of quarterbacks for some reason, he actually started the end of the season pretty well. I think that he's going to stay.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, man. Well, that was fun. You rode on the QB carousel, Hurt, and I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I think I fell off a couple times, but it's a windy way. I don't do well going in circles. Okay. So if we had more questions, I would have started just automatically getting nauseous.
All right. Well, even though we're talking about the NFL, I got to bring up your boy, one of your favorite players. We already mentioned him earlier, LeBron James. And LeBron James is a powerful guy. But the question I have for you is this. Is the NFL experiencing the LeBron James effect? And what I mean by that is I think LeBron shifted the power of the athlete when he left Cleveland, brought his boys to Miami, and started winning championships. And now, in the NFL, there's been a history of QBs that are career QBs. If you're a good QB, they don't let you leave. Dan Marino, Joe Montana until the very end, Tom Brady until the very end, Brett Favre. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But now we're seeing quarterbacks saying, hey, you know what? I want to move myself into a better situation where I can have more say over personnel, where I can maybe convince some players to come play with me. Is this the LeBron James effect?
No, I think it's just the evolution of a sport, because we've seen quarterbacks in the past who've been with teams, and I know Russell Wilson is one of these people who the team can pay you the money, but when you're sitting there and they're drafting, I mean, Aaron Rodgers can feel this way as well. When the team is drafting a team and you need offensive linemen and you get this shiny new cornerback, that's all nice and dandy, but who's protecting me?
Yeah.
And because we've seen careers end early. Derek Carr's brother's career was just marred by being sacked, I swear, every game. Like, that dude got hit every game. So if you – and also, the crazy thing is that it's a business. It's a business. And I think players are starting to realize that they can use some of their power to affect the change in their careers. Because the crazy thing is, at the end of the day, when they retire, all people are going to look at are stats. We're not going to sit here and say, what wide receivers did he have in 2020? Why was his team? Think about this. If Deshaun Watson retired, and in 10 years we look back, man, that dude was 4-12 that year. He was terrible. I mean, his stats are okay, but his team didn't win. We're going to blame him for it. We're not going to look and say, well, they got rid of this, and that. It's just how people perceive things. And it's usually the quarterback whose fault that it is.
Yeah.
So, why not? I mean, again, there's your favorite quarterback, of course, in Detroit. There's a time, and I feel like it's Matt Ryan's time too. There's a certain time where you need to change the laundry that you wear on the field. And you need to change the scenery. You need to change the city. You need to leave because it's become stagnant. And it was good for Jared Goff. It was good for Matthew Stafford. And I think it'd be good for Matt Ryan. Like, you need to, because it's like that in life. And I think people don't realize how players are, alive and they're human beings.
Right.
And sometimes, like us, they don't like their workplaces. Think about that.
Yeah.
And I feel like we always put them in this box where you're getting paid this money, you need to stay and be quiet.
Yeah.
Well, even in our fields, if we can be paid a good amount of money, but if people aren't happy, we don't like it, we have the right to say, hey, let me put my resume out there. I'm out. Why is it different for these athletes? This is their job.
Right.
I know for us it's a fantasy job, but for them, this is their life.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at Houston and you're like, this is going, this isn't right, and we're not in that building. We don't know everything that's going on. But the fact is he's saying, you know what, I'm looking around this place and it looks like Westview, and I know it's not real. I need to go.
Yeah.
I need to go. And we put too much, what's the word I'm looking for?
Emphasis?
Emphasis, but we place a lot of emphasis on that, on loyalty, on professional athletes. Like they need to stay somewhere all the time. When we're the ones moving around the country for different situations and jobs and moving our families to a better place.
Yeah, you know what? You bring up a good point, and this is why. And I was going to ask you, do you mind this shift? Do you like the shift of players having more control of their destinies or their outcomes? You know, even when they're not even though when they're not free agents. And you brought up a good point. Like when it comes to loyalty, you know, people expect all the time for the players to be loyal to the organizations when the organizations are never loyal to them. I mean, other than their paychecks, they're never loyal to them.
Hell, the organizations aren't loyal to the community. They can up and move the team.
Right, exactly. And especially in football, when you can cut somebody at any time, there's no guaranteed contract. So me personally, I have no power. I mean, no problem with the power shifting to the athlete to be able to do. I have no problem with what Deshaun's doing. I have no problem with Russell Wilson's doing. More power to him. That's all.
But the team still has control over the contract due to, so they can say, you know, like certain players, we can franchise you. You can't go anywhere. But it's up to the player. Like, are you going to sit out? So there's a back and forth there. But I feel like, you know, again, if Noah Syndergaard demanded a trade tomorrow, or if DeGrom was like, you know what, I can't be here. We're not building a team. It would hurt. And if he went to the Dodgers or something. But just think about how he feels. Like we never really sit back and do that with people. We can do that with ourselves. We could clearly say, if you said to me, you'll be, you know, yo, Kev, man, you know, I got this good opportunity. Me and the fam are moving to, you know, Louisiana for, you know, a better paying job for me and Les and everybody. What am I going to say? I was like, well, the time difference, but we can do the show a little bit earlier. You know what I'm saying? And congratulations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But in sports, it's like, why did you leave us? Why are you leaving this town? Why can't you? I don't know this. I really don't know these people.
Yeah.
I don't know these people. I could, as a sports person, you know, loving teams, I love my Arsenal, love my, you know, my Mets. What if a top guy transferred or was recruited to Florida State and decides to go to Miami? There's people that would send that kid hate mail. It's like an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You know, because he switched up during the recruiting process. So what? That ain't your mama. What if your mama switched on you? You ain't my kid. I mean, they'll trade you for another one. I don't. That's the only people that need to be loyal to you, is your family.
Right.
And your close friends. Like these are human beings who don't like being in their situation. Exactly. But people want to call them spoiled and all this because of how much they get paid. It's not fair.
No.
I don't know how it is there. I know how it looked last season. Again, J.J. Watt got the heck up out of there. And that dude loves that city.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm just a little bit tired of why athletes need to be loyal to me. Because they get more money than I do. Am I loyal to, you know, New York because I live here? Yes, I love New York. But guess what? I ain't paying taxes there. I'm paying taxes here. I got my house here. I live here. I'm here because of the opportunity that this place presented me. As all the people who, you know, stay in New York are like, oh, you're a traitor. Why'd you leave? Why'd you go to school out of state? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's dumb. This is so stupid. People are just ridiculous with this.
Yeah.
It's just they're human beings who have a job that want to look for better opportunities.
That's it.
Period.
Okay.
Yeah, if they trashed the place on the way out, like if I sat there and I didn't clean my desk off before I left, that's being petty. And yes, you could be upset about it.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, look, Hurt, before we get to the entertainment section of the podcast,
Yeah.
I have 2 quick questions for you, NFL questions, all right?
All right.
First one, what planet is Des Bryant on?
He's on a planet where he caught the ball against Green Bay.
I mean, look, Des Bryant, you're cool. You know, I'm glad you had a chance to be on the Ravens, but when you start coming out talking about, yeah, I knew it wasn't a fit for me, you know, the moment I got there. Like, dude, you haven't played in 3 years. Like, this team gave you an opportunity to play. You know what I mean? You were always going to be a piece. It wasn't like you were going to be a number 1, a number 2, even a number 3 guy. They gave you an opportunity to play. They signed you to the practice squad, and you played in like 5-6 games, had a couple touchdowns, some catches. This is a run first. The Ravens are a run first offense. Like, why are you talking about you weren't a fit? Like, I don't want to hear about you weren't a fit. I want to talk about how, you know, hey, this team gave me a shot. Nobody else was giving you a shot. This team gave you a shot. And he's saying he wants to play 2 years. Hopefully he does get to play. I mean, what did you think about his comments?
When you wear 88 for that team down in Texas, you become delusional.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you can't tell by the people that are on TV, then you can't tell by anything else. And he's just one of those delusional 88s, as I call him.
Okay.
So that does not surprise me one bit.
Okay. All right. Well, this is more bring this home towards your team. Recently, Alex Smith did an article with GQ, I believe it was, and he pretty much saying he never thought for once that Washington wanted him there. So my question to you was, in that interview, was he too honest? Did you have a problem with his comments?
No. How are you too honest? He's telling the truth. I didn't want him there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I wanted him to be okay. Every time he took a snap, I was scared.
Yeah.
It's just, I just want him to be okay. Like, this dude nearly died.
Yeah.
His journey is remarkable, and he deserves everything. But you got to think about a new coaching staff that came in and think about, we got a clean house. What do we have here? What are we looking at? They got a quarterback. Think about coming into a place where you're given 2 quarterbacks you can't do nothing with. Think about that. Hey, Alex is still here, and you got Haskins. You're like, wait, gosh, this is what we're getting? Like a dude who we don't even know who could play, and a guy who we saw that can't play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're trying to start over. You're like, all right. And then he keeps working his way back. You're like, you're not planning on that.
Yeah.
No, he's 100% right. He's telling the truth.
Yeah. No.
I mean, do I love the guy? Everything he went through, dude, I love him. I hope once his career finishes, I hope he becomes part of the organization. He's a good dude. He's really a good dude, man, and he's been through so much. You know what I mean? So, he's telling the truth. But when he first came in there, I couldn't even watch the games. I just wanted him to be okay. Yeah. But when Aaron Donald jumped on his back and he was okay, I was like, well, I guess he's okay now.
Yeah. I'm with you. I didn't have any problem with his comments.
Why would we?
Yeah.
He's telling the truth.
Yeah. Yo, it's amazing that they went 5-1 when he was their starting quarterback, man.
Because you know what? Turnovers.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have a quarterback that doesn't cause any.
Yeah. All right, time for the fun part. Well, we've been having fun, don't get me wrong, but I love it when we get to this portion because right now we get to talk about the best show of 2021, and that's WandaVision. Mm-hmm. And my question to you, and we can
spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, that's right. We don't want to
scroll. See the screen. Look at the bottom of the screen. Spoiler alert! If you haven't watched WandaVision like Brian does at 2:15 a.m. on Friday,
stop.
Like the rest of us who had to watch it right before the show started. If you haven't watched it, please come back in about 10 minutes because we still have another part of the show we got to do for a rundown of our movies.
Yep.
So we are talking about WandaVision. So what is your questiones?
My question is this: Will the WandaVision finale stick the landing?
Yes.
All right.
I mean, because literally, there's been no turbulence. It's been the smoothest ride in the history of television. Everything they've done is remarkable to me. And we have one episode left. There's so much still to be answered. I'm hoping this isn't I'm hoping for another season. Maybe we can get another season somewhere.
I think we're getting another season because there's no in my mind, unless they come out with a 2-hour episode next week.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way they could wrap up.
Well, even if you just double it, even if it's like a hour, because most of the shows are like 30 to maybe this one was like 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's about 40 minutes.
Yeah, so if you make it a little bit longer, you can fit more in there. And I think this is the first time, unless I'm mistaken, it's like the first one that we didn't get a commercial, right? I didn't see a commercial.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We didn't get a commercial.
Yeah, so it's they've done well so far. Again, there's shows that we've watched that have not stuck the landing, but they're again, unless they paint Vision a totally different color, this is not going to disappoint me. Man, I'm already so far in Happyville when it comes to them and how what they've done with the show that again, unless they totally change characters that last show and have stand-ins, I'm good.
Yeah, I really like this episode because we got to see the Agatha Harkness origin story, and we got to see Wanda take a trip down memory lane. So we understand now why she's created this world, why she's watching why she created this world of sitcoms. When she was a kid, that's how her and her brother learned English. That's how she spent time with her mother and father and her family every Friday.
Yep.
In this school, she's watching the American sitcoms from all these decades, learning English, spending time with her family, and how they just meant so much to her. And dude, I totally forgot. Like, she has nobody. She lost her parents and her brother. So she's not only dealing with the grief of her brother
and the person that she's closest to.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah. So you have her parents, you have her brother, and now Vision. It's like too much. It's too much. It's too much. And wow, man. And, the other thing that got me is that she actually created Vision. Like, this world, like, she created her kids, because that was one of my biggest questions. Like, because they kept saying outside of the hex, no, these things are real. Like, this isn't fake. And she created Vision. She didn't steal him, and I thought she stole them from Sword and brought him to his world, and he could only exist in that world. No, she created him. Wow, what the heck, her.
Yeah, but also think about the things that happened to her besides this, like the scene in Civil War where she tried to save Captain America and it blew up that building.
Yeah,
and how then she was, basically put in jail.
Yeah,
and then Vision had to sit there and babysit her. Just all those things, because all of a sudden now she's dangerous.
Yeah.
So you lose everything. You're trying to protect the people you're out in the field with. And now they look at you as this monster. So all that to me plays into this as well. I know they didn't mention it, but that's still part of her psyche. Where she just sat there and then just think about any human being without powers going through any of that stuff. And then she didn't go crazy. She didn't really go crazy while she was in the Sword facility. But then taking that map, going to the place where you could live the rest of your days at, and it's just this foundation. That's it, nothing else. And that's where she lost it.
Yeah.
And I can't blame her, man. I can't blame her. I mean, for losing it. I'm not super powered, but you got to think about her and how she felt. So
yeah. Hey, who left her that note? Who's V?
Well, supposedly, I guess it was Vision. That's the way I look at it. And again, I just watched the episode. I didn't get to rewatch it like everything else I've done. But I was guessing because it said to place to grow old. A place to grow old in.
You know, I was trying to figure out who wrote this note. I never never even came to my mind.
But I really want to go back and look at everything that was on that map because I'm sure there's some Easter eggs in there that I didn't get to really notice. But I'm guessing that was from him.
Okay.
Because then from there is when she lost it and created him, and all the sitcoms started.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, Hurt, if you don't mind, man, I'm gonna have to cut it short today. Is it okay if we do these movies next week?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, listen. Next week we have. But this was again. We had a different format today. It kind of worked, so I do like it. So next week we're gonna do more movies. We don't have a ton of sports, but we're gonna do more movies next week. I think we're gonna do 8 instead of 4. And more intent, and we're going to have the WandaVision season finale. So it might not even be sports next week, people. I just want you to know that. It might not be any sports. It just might be Wanda and movies. Yeah. So, but thank you everybody for tuning in. N1MD Podcast. And of course, our Facebook, IG, and Twitter. Thank you for following us and leave some comments. Let us know how we're doing. Of course, we're on StreamYard and on YouTube Live. You can subscribe to us, N1MD Podcast, and of course, you can just hear us. Without seeing us, which I don't know why wouldn't you want to see us, but you can just listen to us. Our podcast is on Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, anywhere there's podcasts, you will find N1MD Podcast. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe, and we will see you next week.
Peace out, y'all.